We need to get some RIP Vegito Blues in the comment section effective immediately. Dragon Ball Legends have revealed their Ultra JANEMBA, and honestly, the day for Ultra Vegito Blue fans, it's over, man. It's over. It's actually over. But of course, this is a should you summon and you want to know whether he's worth summoning for, and I'm gonna go into detail about it in this video. Just to be straight up, I feel like he's a very valuable unit nonetheless. He has a good team backing him as well, and he fits on multiple teams, so regen is one of his options, but he also does have sagas from the movies and powerful opponent. But you want to know the full scoop, and I'm going to give you both sides of the argument, so we got to go into the yeses if you do want to summon, reasons why you should summon and what you're going to get out of it if you do summon, and also we're going to go into the no's, reason you shouldn't summon, because come on, man, not everybody's going to need this unit and not everybody is going to use this unit. All right, so let's get into it. Right, so first I want to just go into his kit, but this is not a kit breakdown video. I am not going to address every single thing in his kit. If you want to read the kit, I'll give the link in the description or the comment section so you can read the whole thing yourself. They've also posted it on Twitter in a commentary video, and they showed bits of it in the reveals and stuff. But what I want to do is just point out the biggest factors in his kit that I saw, and they will be the deciding factor on whether the unit is really going to be something for you or not. So let's start reading. I made this tweet here pointing out what I think Ultra JANEMBA will look like in the meta, and it says here, my initial opinion on Ultra Super JANEMBA after reading his kit. He is easily a top 3 unit. I believe he's a literal thief sealing cards. His blue card, I believe, literally seals your green cards for 10 time accounts. I don't think people realize how long 10 time accounts is. It's very, very useful. But let's continue. Taking key while benefiting, e.g. he has damage stacking, so every time he does a strike and a blast, he's actually able to get 20%, I believe, damage inflicted, which is very, very important. He also has 150% damage inflicted in his kit as a base, which is a big number. He also has crazy sub reduction, so if you hit him with an ultimate, awakened arts, a rising rush, he reduces sub counts by 10, so you can just get him out of there. I think tag 4s have something similar to that, so that's something very, very valuable to point out as well. He starts the battle with his gauge full, and that's going to be a big impact. But what I want to point out is that his gauge is like UGB's, but it doesn't fill from him taking damage. So JANEMBA would be filling his gauge gradually, whether he's on the sidelines or just standing still on the battlefield. It's just basically every second his gauge is gradually filling, which I personally don't like because it's out of your control, but he does start the battle with it already full, so that's also going to have an impact on how the game will go. When his counter does activate, he also gets 100% vanish gauge, which is actually going to be a big thing. And the elephant in the room, which a lot of people saw immediately, was that he gets a second ultimate. So he gets an ultimate of his main ability, of course, naturally, but when his gauge or his counter activates, he's able to get an ultimate art, so he will have 2 in the game, and every time his counter activates, he also gets 100% of his vanishing gauge filled. So pretty OP, I'm not gonna lie, very, very valuable. Then I think the last thing I want to point out is that on his main ability, he's able to destroy all of your cards. And I think that's pretty much just the rundown on his whole kit. For the most part, he's going to do a lot of ultimate damage, a lot of blue card damage, but he's going to do damage with his strikes and blast through the damage stacking that he has in his kit as well. He has blast armor, so I want to point that out as well. That's going to have an impact on the battle. So you can expect this guy to be a real menace. He also has a lot of Zenkai buffs. There's a lot of blue ones. I believe Piccolo fused with Nail is one. I believe Lord Slug is another one. So these are just some good options if you want to make him extra OP, considering that he's blue. Now that we've gone into the kit, we pretty much just want to break down whether you should summon for him or not. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the no's. I'm going to give you all the reasons why you shouldn't summon, and if you want to know what I'm doing, I'll tell you that after. So the biggest reason you shouldn't summon is because we are very close to the festival. The festival starts in November, late November, and you're going to want to have a lot of Chrono Crystals for that event because it's the biggest event of the year. I'll put a video in the description about what the festival is about, but essentially it's the anniversary, but way better. I also want to point out that we haven't got a Legends Limited this month. So if we're going to be getting a Legends Limited in maybe 2 or 3 weeks, probably 2 weeks, then you should also expect another good unit to drop. Similarly to last year, the possibility of us getting a Beast Gohan caliber unit. That's not a guarantee, that's just me headcanoning, because it's very possible given the results of last year. Outside of that, I would say the possibility of Ultra Vegito Blue rerunning is quite high, but it doesn't really matter anymore. So if you're wondering, oh, when's Ultra Vegito Blue gonna rerun, I guess you don't really need to think about that because there's so many blues in the meta. 17 Super Saiyan Goku, Go Frieza, and now this Ultra Super Janemba. 4 blues there that are just going to terrorize PvP, and it's gonna be really hard for UVB to get the upper hand when there's so many blues just type advantage against him and countering him in other ways. But the big thing, Ultra Janemba here having his strike counter. Now you want to go into the reasons why you should summon on this banner, and I'm not gonna lie, there's quite a few, but it really depends on you. So the first one I'm going to put out there is that if you're a collector, you're probably going to summon anyway and you don't need this video, so me just explaining is not really doing anything for you. Number 2 is the simple fact that he's a very big counter to Ultra Vegito Blue. A lot of you guys suffer with Ultra Vegito Blue in the meta. The fact that he's a very strong powerhouse makes it so that this Ultra Janemba can easily counter him. And think about it, there's already a lot of blues in the game right now. Super Saiyan Goku 17 and Go Frieza, 3 blues, and Ultra Vegito Blue is still running almost every other game. It shows how powerful he is as a unit. So the fact that they're adding 1 more to counter him at this point is really just going to be the icing on the cake. So if you really want to bury Ultra Vegito Blues in PvP, this unit would be the one for you. Another one I should just definitely mention, if you run regeneration, and a lot of people do, on top of the fact that if you have Kid Buu, it's going to be very easy to form a good team with this unit. Ultra Janemba has a lot of teams as well, which is what's very valuable about him. You don't just have to use him on regeneration, you can slap him on powerful opponents. You can also put him on sagas from the movies, so that allows him to have a lot of variety, especially for the options that you want to play him with. I really recommend using this guy on multiple teams, not just considering the big elephant, which would be like his regeneration buff, because if you put him on leader slot anyways, nothing else is gonna matter. I'd say the last pro that I want to mention is that it's very likely that you can build a regeneration team off the banner. We haven't seen what other LLs are on the banner, there's usually 3 or 4, but assuming they're catered towards regeneration, you could probably get Piccolo, which might be a Zenkai buff for Kid Buu, and then you could be forming a good regen team, or some other movies units that you might be missing out on. We'd also just have to see, there could be powerful opponents as well. But at the moment I'm making this video, all of that is unconfirmed and I have no idea what's coming outside of the Ultra Super Janemba. Now for the people that want to know whether I'm summoning or not, I thought about it very hard, and really and truly, this is not the banner for me. It's just not. Outside of content purposes, and I've pretty much shied away from making content I don't want to make. I don't slave myself in a way where I'm forced to showcase units, and PvP, it's not that I can't do it, but it's the simple fact that I would prefer to do other things, but I stream every single day, so I just use units for fun. If it's a unit I'm not gonna have fun with, I just probably won't summon for them. However, there is one thing that is tempting me about summoning for this unit. I'm looking forward to the possibility that there's 17 on the banner. I'm talking about LL MVP 17. I skipped him early in the year and I was banking on him returning in the anniversary, and he did return, but just not how I expected it. They gave him an individual banner and that really just turned me off because I don't want to summon directly for him. I wanted him to be an extra that I could get off of one of the main headlining anniversary units, but that wasn't the case, so I just had to forget about him. I'm also not saying I don't want Janemba, but really and truly I know I won't use him long term, so I'm not gonna go fishing for him if I'm not gonna use him later on. He's definitely a good unit and a unit worth summoning for, but just in terms of my box and what I would use and what I would play with, what I enjoy using, I'm not gonna have that much fun with Janemba, even if he is the best in the game. If you guys know me, I have a 3-star Go Frieza and I do not use that unit at all. Even when I use them, I never switch to Frieza because I'm not a fan of Frieza. I would literally just stay as Goku, and that might be tapped, but this is just a game for fun. Don't take it too seriously. I just do what I want, but that's not gonna deteriorate how I perceive the units. It's really just about my own perspective and how I want to play the game. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for this video. Press the subscribe button and let me know in the comment section what you're going to be doing. Are you summoning or are you not going to be summoning? The choice is yours, but I would definitely be still saving for the 50,000 Chrono Crystal goal that I set for myself, so that I can have a good chance of pulling all of the festival units, including the one I'm hoping for, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Appreciate you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Everybody have a good day. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.